Well, we knew we were going to face a good arm today, but we also knew that they were going to face a good arm too. Um, I was actually glad that Nick drew them, being a true freshman, to give him a chance to handle a crowd and somebody else's crowd because somewhere down the line he's going to be in his first NCAA regional. So I thought today was really good the way he handled himself. We knew Geisler was going to be good. He was good again. But Nick matched him, and we played solid defense behind him. Our defense was good. We hit some balls hard along the way. They made some nice plays. But the one thing that Nick did was, we talk about this all the time, about making our run relevant. And he never gave his milk up throughout the ball game, and kept the game right there for us, never let it get away. And that's how you have to match a good arm, is you've got to match him on the mound with pitching and defense. We were able to do that, and then our hitters did a great job of getting themselves around. And then I thought Coach Talbot did a great job of handling the bunts to break that inning wide open. And then we were able to get to Demo with 6 outs. And when you can do that with 1 or 2 runs, you've got a great opportunity to win.
I was just doing what I was told, just trying to find a way to get the job done. It didn't matter what it was. If I had to wear a pitch, bunt, hit one, anywhere, I was just trying to do my job.
Did you go up there thinking, preparing yourself for a squeeze bunt, or did you think, because there was only 1 out, the second last play, so did you go up there thinking anything and think what was going to happen?
No, I had the same approach. I was just looking for a ball to drive in the right turn gap, and then he gave me the sign, and I locked in and got the bunt down.
And to go that deep the way you did, how much of it was confidence, how much of it maybe was development, how much of it was
Well, like Coach Robe said, I think it was good for me to pitch it against a home crowd, like this, whenever it's a playoff time like this. And I know how deep I can go in the games and stuff like that. And I just knew that if like he said, if I held the score down, our inning would be relevant.
Stefan, it's the second time Geisler's kind of knotted you guys up. But what does he do so effectively against you?
He's a good arm. He throws strikes with multiple pitches. He hits the spots, makes a big pitch, makes you get yourself out. That's kind of what he does, similar to Gunner. He's a competitor.
With the way it's gone as a team for you guys all season, how satisfying is it to make the small ball work like that?
Oh, it's great. We're grinders. We just find a way to get it done. Doesn't matter if we got a bunt or get the big hit. With Clem last night, you got to be able to win in a lot of different ways.
Did you think Pinero's ball was out? Any other day that thing was going to leave the ballpark today.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was going. I was running. I was stealing actually, and so I didn't get a great view of it. But off the bat, I thought it was gone. He hit it pretty well. Just kind of got caught up in the wind. Kind of top spinned it a little bit.
How hard is it to make a wind adjustment like this? Completely different today than it was when you played first.
You kind of get a feel for it in and out, and before the game, you see how the wind's blowing, you watch the flags and everything. You just got to adjust to the game, adjust to the field.
Nick, you gave up those 2 doubles, you gave up that first run, and they were threatening again to kind of put up a crooked number.
Yes, sir.
How important was it for you to keep it to 1 run there and not let the game go?
Yes, sir. Well, I knew Geisler was a good pitcher too, so I knew he was going to keep our run production down. So I knew I just had to stick with our system and do the best I could to keep it to 1 run that inning.
How big is it for you guys to have the rest of the day off, not have to play another game today?
It's great. It gives our pitching staff and all our hitters a little bit of rest, and we're going to relax the rest of the day and look forward to tomorrow.
Stefan, any advantage at all, do you think, to knowing that you're going to get somebody that you've seen already?
Well, we've seen everyone.
Texas State.
Yeah, they've had to play an extra game, so I'm sure that's an advantage pitching wise, and they're going to be whoever we play is gonna be ready going into tomorrow.
Thank you guys. We do questions.
Good to go. All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, guys. Coach, like Stefan just said, you had the punch today, you had the power last night. It's a small sample, but to know you got it both, how important is that? And how important is it knowing that the runs came through? Because you probably came to the park with the flags today knowing you're going to have to do that.
Well, I think it's real important because, we really want to shorten the field and lengthen it, and we haven't been real good throughout the season at bunting. And so I think today was real important because, sometimes you're going to face some guys that it's either their day or they've got your number, and he's had our number. And so we wanted to take it into our hands and try to get some bunts down and try to get the demo. We thought if we'd get the demo, we'd had our best chance to win today, right here and right now. And so having Trosclair up, I'm sure them looking at the situation, probably thinking that, he's going to hit because of who he is. But when all your hitters can bunt, that's what it does to people. It gives you another weapon, and we need that because we're climbing a little bit, 270 something hitting team. So we need to be able to do more. Sometimes when we get caught in these situations. So a great job by Coach Talbert in being able to put on those bunts, and I fully trust him in those situations, and he did a great job of maneuvering that inning.
Does that go into the consideration when you're making one of those calls, thinking that, okay, it's our big power hitter at the plate, they're probably not going to think he's going to lay down a suicide squeeze?
Well, and knowing that he's a good bunter helps too, because if he wouldn't be, you probably don't make that call. So that's what's great is when your big hitters can bunt, it creates an enormous weapon for you. We could squeeze in any time with Compton, but yet he was a bigger power hitter at first baseman, but he was a great bunter. And so when you guys can bunt, we kicked ourselves for not bunting in the first inning, and not sacking the runners up and getting on the board first, Coach and I together. He kicked me and I kicked him, and I'm glad for him we came back around to have that situation again to be able to bunt him because, nobody's too good to not be able to bunt. I've always had a theory, that he might be too good to hit that day, but he's not too good to bunt. And so it also puts everything in your hand with good bunters. You got so much more control. Line drive out, fly ball that doesn't get deep enough, a big strikeout right there, putting the ball on the ground, and it's big because you don't know what'll happen when you put it on the ground. And all the bunters did just a great job of just executing all their bunts, from the potential squeeze to the safety squeeze. All of it was executed really good.
He had a kind of an off week last week. See him bounce back, and really, that's a pressure situation, being down with guys that are feeling like that.
Well, we take him for granted. I knew his pitchability was going to be there, and I knew his maturity was going to be there. That's why we put him where we put him. He's a competitor and a warrior, and he'll do nothing but get better. He thrives in these big moments. He drew the home crowd, one of the best hitting teams in here. And with his back against the wall facing Geisler, who's cutting us up. And yet he never gave his milk up in those critical innings. He pitched away from the 3-run inning. He controlled their momentum. He made some big pitches to let use their momentum against them in some critical hitting situations. And I can't say enough about Nick. His growth has been really good, coming back off of a tough week last week and being able to bounce back and get into here and do what he did today, man, is just phenomenal. And he'll do nothing but get better, and he's going to get a little bit more physical along the way. He's come from a senior season of really being thrown a lot. So we've managed him under 100 all year to try to help him, but he's going to be good, really good before this is over.
How good do you feel about your pitching kind of going forward now? You didn't have the extra game today. You handed off to Moore, basically almost handed off to Carter. And is Carter available for any two tomorrow, especially if it's Arkansas?
We'll pick him back up again. Demo's pitch count was not bad if we had to get an out or something, but we'll be careful with our arms. But I like where we're sitting. We got another great starter in Guillory. Got another starter behind him, Wyatt Marks. We got a bullpen of guys I think that need to throw, or hopefully will get in there for us and throw along the way. And other people's pitching is getting thinner, I think, than ours. So hopefully, those flags can turn back around and our hitters can maybe, take control of a couple games.
Is Guillory definitely the starter tomorrow, no matter what the matchup is?
Doesn't matter.
With the way the schedule falling with the weather pushing back, was this one even bigger maybe than the first one because you don't have to turn around and play back to back?
Who it's big for? I mean, it's big for all you players, but in our catching situation, we all know what our catching situation is with the two injured catchers, and so that's who it benefits. Is not to turn back around. It's been so humid out here. It's one thing, Thurman being maybe a little tired in the game. It's another thing when he gets dehydrated, and it gets not safe for him. That would be an issue. So we're gonna water him down again tonight in the watering hole and try to keep him hydrated the best of our ability. But that's who it was really big for, is him. Our pitching's sitting good, but to be able to go home and rest him is a huge benefit because he's such a big factor behind the plate for our pitching staff.
Just maybe to clarify more than anything else, is the ground rule that you were told if it's yellow and comes back in, it's a double, if it's yellow and goes out, it's a homer, or what was the ground rule?
On the ground rules, if it hits the yellow and disappears, then it's a home run. If it hits the yellow and comes back, it's not. The question mark is their net is attached to the wall. So that becomes a tough call for anybody. You've got a ball that's, trajectory is hitting the fence. The question was, and I'm sure Ty, I don't know for sure, but I'm sure what Ty was doing was he thought probably the ball hit that, skimmed the net, and came on back. I don't know. I was far from it. The umpire did have a pretty good view. The center field umpire was the furthest out there, and I saw him, do this immediately. But that can be a tough call right there. I mean, you either have to. Most walls where the net's far enough back, it's the trajectory will help you, because if it comes back up, but then it probably hit the top of the fence, But this one, the whole key to it is did it hit the net and come on back? And I'm sure that's what Ty was discussing, and I don't know that, I don't know it from where I was sitting.
What's the status of Joe Robbins? It looks like he's in a lot of pain swinging in that last at bat.
His wrist will give him some trouble from time to time a little bit, especially on certain pitches where he'll swing through a certain pitch. He's 100% for defense. They managing the pain, giving him some anti-inflammatories and wrapping him up. So I think he'll be okay. It's just one of those things. It's just a certain pitch that can give him trouble, like when he swings through or a check swing or something. Hopefully we'll get him some rest today and get out of here, and hopefully have enough time to get it rest back up for the following weekend.